This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace. It is too easy today for troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture. We must stop or substantially reduce this, and it has to begin immediately.
Alright, so politics, everybody. Now, today we're hearing that they're looking to ban video games because that cause actual war. And I want to actually make it abundantly clear. Number one, I am in Canada. And number two, I do not know any laws, and therefore I'm not going to be commenting on any law or anything that people are against or pro. All I'm going to do here is we're going to watch Trump's video and I'm going to react to it. I'm going to actually show analytical data and statistical data that actually proves that video games are not to blame. I'm not going to be pulling anything out of my ass. I'm actually going to pull data from Oxford University. Yes, don't believe a YouTuber. Don't believe CNN. Don't believe Fox. I know that if you are someone who's above the age of 65 and you believe CNN and Fox, and you're like, okay, well, they're speaking the truth. They're spitting gospel. They are just righteous. Well, all I gotta say here is that don't believe them, and don't believe me either. Don't believe anyone, but the data and the numbers do not lie. We're gonna check out the video, and we also have Obama actually putting out a statement. And real quick, let's settle this down. If you're someone who plays video games, okay, be honest. If you're someone who plays video games and you haven't done anything out on the streets to anyone and you have been polite, smash a like. And if you are someone who has done bad things because of video games and you're gonna still do them, dislike this video, and I hope the government finds you. But let's actually
First, we must do a better job of identifying and acting on early warning signs. I am directing the Department of Justice to work in partnership with local, state, and federal agencies, as well as social media companies, to develop tools that can detect mass before they strike.
I agree.
As an example, the monster in the Parkland High School in Florida had many red flags against him, and yet nobody took decisive action. Nobody did anything. Why not? Second, we must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace. It is too easy today for troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture
that celebrates violence.
We must stop or substantially reduce this, and it has to begin immediately. That's what we have to do. Third, we must reform our mental health laws to better identify mentally disturbed individuals.
yes, but
Commit acts of violence, and make sure those people not only get treatment, but when necessary, involuntary confinement. Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger, not the Fourth, we must make sure that those judged to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms, and that if they do, those can be taken through rapid due process. That is why I have called for red flag laws, also known as extreme risk protection orders. Today, I'm also directing the Department of Justice to propose legislation ensuring that those who commit crimes and face the death penalty.
or yeah,
And
I
that
agree.
This capital punishment be delivered quickly, decisively, and without years of needless delay.
I have played video games all my life. I've played video games all my life, and there are definitely certain things that I agree with him, and there are a lot of things that I disagree. First of all, before I show you guys the data and all the analytical stuff, this is Obama. Obama just came out of nowhere, RQ'd a bunch of people, and issued a statement. I'm not gonna read the whole thing though, but he says, first, no other nation on earth come close to experiencing the frequency of mass that we see in the United States. No other developed nation tolerates the level of GWAS that we do. Every time this happens, we're told that to tougher G law, that they won't stop every deranged individual from getting a weapon and people in public places, but the evidence shows that they can stop some. They can save some families from heartbreak. We're not helpless here, and until all of us stand up and insist on holding public officials accountable for changing our G laws, these tragedies will keep happening. And Somebody give this man a Benjamin. I mean, he doesn't need any Benjamin. He got plenty of them. But what I mean here is that these are facts. This is something that I personally agree with. Something that you shouldn't have to agree with if you don't agree with. But what I mean here is that I do see this to be pretty credible, because we here in Canada, we don't have that many tragedies. Luckily, super grateful for that. I'm hoping that we stay immune to all of that, and I hope that the rest of the world also can somehow find a way to stay immune to that as well. And these are the analytical data, and I'm gonna actually get right into it, and then I'm gonna show you guys studies and all that, because right now many people believe that if you play a video game, it's gonna cause you to get wild and do all of that in real life, and that is not true. I have played my first few games were games like God of War, GTA, like Grand Theft Auto. My first few games were Call of Duty and Battlefield, and I still played those games to this day because I truly enjoyed them, and I really feel like that without them, people would be doing more of these acts in real life. As sad as that sound, what these video games are designed for is to you be able to kill time, pass time, learn a few things here and there, and actually, you know, understand that this stuff is actually bad in real life. And to some extent, these video games provide entertainment, and these video games are the reason why not many people do these acts. Yes, we had few people do these terrible acts, and I hope that they can come up with a new law that can punish them. I mean, I cannot say certain words here on YouTube, but I hope you understand where I'm going with this one. But the thing is that you cannot blame 2 people or 100 people acts on billions of people who play video games worldwide. I mean, this is a chart that comes from Charlie Intel, but obviously this chart doesn't come from them. It comes from, and it says this, that video games revenue per person estimated for 2019, and you can see South Korea, China are the top dog. And this data is from 2017. I wish it was from 2019, but the year isn't over yet, and I'm truly sad, because obviously this number will rise. Hopefully not, but we know it will. There's just sad actually, and it is from 2017, but the numbers do not lie. But you can see that China and South Korea, who are the top dogs, you can see they are completely to zero, obviously 0 point something, but you know, they are hugging zero pretty close. And US on the other hand is straight up shooting up to almost 4.5, let's say. And you can see the rest of the countries are pretty low as well. And if you're someone who's watching this video and you are easily manipulated, obviously people who play video games and the youth are way more smarter, okay? There is no comparison. If you watch CNN and Fox and you believe what they're telling you, you are easily manipulated. There is no other way to put it. Like, I'm just gonna be pretty blunt with you, okay? Now, this is a study, okay? This was, I mean, many studies have conducted. This is a study, a new study, in fact, shows that there is no link between these type of video games and aggression in teenagers. And I'm gonna actually go in depth, and I don't even know why we're talking about this, because all I know is that video games are responsible for getting the communities together. They are responsible for friendship, they're responsible for bonding with another humans, and they are responsible for, I mean, a lot of people actually made fortune out of playing video games. Like recently somebody won I believe $3 million by playing Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite, I don't keep up with that, and honestly I don't hate nor like Fortnite, but to say that Fortnite is the reason behind this, if you say Call of Duty, I guess yeah, to some extent I see why you're saying that, but that is still wrong though. But people who are saying that Fortnite is behind these people doing these acts in real life, bro, what are you smoking? Let me know so I can try it out. Maybe, you know, maybe I have to try it out, because Fortnite is the friendliest game known to mankind, and there are people who actually hate that game for that reason, that it is actually so friendly to the point where it's cringe. You know, Fortnite is the friendliest game on planet Earth, bro. What in God? But hey, let's bring it back. In yet another study on the subject, it shows that there is no link between playing video games and aggression in adolescence. Courtesy of the Oxford Internet Institute and the University of Oxford, this new study was published in Royal Society Open Science and is being touted as being one of the most comprehensive studies on the subject to date. comprehensive. And if you don't believe me, go ahead, Google it, and don't tell me that you don't believe Oxford University, okay? That is because this study used a combination of subjective and objective data to measure teen aggression and this in games, compared to previous research on the subject, which relied on self-reported data from teenagers. This study used information from parents and carers to judge the level of aggressive behavior. The content of video games was classified using the official PAGI and ESRB rating system rather than just the players' perceptions of the amount of V in the games. And yes, we got PAGI, we got ESRB, just like we have movies with plenty of stuff in it that are rated. We have video games, on the other hand, that are also rated by PAGI and ESRB that the youth cannot play actually unless they have parental permission or unless the parents buy them those games. And I remember that when I was like 10, 11, 12, I mean below the age of 18, I would go and try to buy games and the cashier wouldn't let me. And I was like, yo, why? Like, I just want to play video games, right? And then I would bring a parent with me, and then I would be like, you know what I'm saying, son? My parents would get me those games and I would be the happiest. Not because, and these thoughts never even crossed my mind, because I'm pretty sure that someone will take it in a wrong direction and be like, well, you were happy because you knew that you would be actually doing that in real life. Absolutely not. I was happy because I wanted to kill time. I wanted to try something new out. I wanted to and when I was playing those games, I knew that it's not even real life. I knew that it was fantasy. I knew that this is fake, but it felt realistic though, and I was kind of chasing that realism, but I knew deep down that it is fake. Nowadays, when I play video games, I want video games to be realistic, but I know deep down that these are fake, and I know that people who play these games are not going to be doing anything in real life, you know, because these are video games, these are fantasy, this is fake. This is just like movies that we watch that have all of that stuff, but we know it's fake. For example, John Wick, and I hate to always bring John Wick up, but I know that John Wick is something that has a lot of V in it. Cannot say certain words here, and I do apologize for that. But we know that John Wick has a lot of V in it. I watched that movie. I watched, in fact, the whole series that is out as of right now, and I know that plenty of people watch that, and there are plenty of other movies out there. So should we also ban these video games or these movies? Should we ban these movies? Should we ban rappers who always rap about stuff that I cannot say on YouTube? What should we do? Should we just completely get rid of it? Should we actually as Optimus would say, should we actually go for a La La Land and all that? Bro, come on now. You know that if you stop a human being from doing something, or you say to a little kid that, hey, don't eat chocolate, he will most likely gonna crave for chocolate even more, and he will in fact actually go out of his way to actually eat that chocolate, you know. So this is human psychology, and I really believe that censorship is not the answer. Someone who wanna do something will always do that, but I have to say this, that video games are not the cause. We need stronger laws. Yes, I agree with that, but video games, bro, everybody play video games. Everybody play video games. Video games are worldwide. But I guess that will do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Check out some other videos on the screen, and I will see you in another video game video.